no. Oh no. These guys shoot. They tried to declare independence, and the Norwegian AI refused to allow it. Just dumb. I'm not gonna want to join that war, but shoot, if I'm not, then I can't help. What the heck, Norwegian People's Republic? You can't afford to be fighting on an additional front now. I can see these guys for some reason. Why? They're no longer a puppet. No, they're still a puppet. Well, I won't be able to see them for long. I mean, they could have held on to this territory, and eventually, when the debuffs to resistance expired, collaboration government, or rather, I would have gotten a collaboration government because it's going to take over Norway eventually. They will be in a faction when this war is over, so they won't be able to do this unless there is going to be a peace conference. If I swap to Norway before, I can just not puppet them. I forget, it's a war of independence, though, so I think the rules on it. Why is it not listed on any of these? I know it's one of them. Oh, Lithuanian-Norwegian War, that's okay. Wait. Lithuanian-Norwegian War. Oh. Oh, no. That's not what I thought it was. This is Soviet Lithuania can request that the Soviet Union attack Denmark, which is that's what they did. And then they'll pull the Soviet Union, usually, although the Soviet Union can say no to it, and I think they have the option of just going to war anyways without the Soviets' help, if the Soviets tell them no. But I'm guessing the Soviets will say yes. That's not good. That means the Soviets are going to war with Denmark here. And the only way to end that war is to defeat the Soviet Union, which is not a small task. You know, taking Moscow and a whole arching east of it. Shoot. Although it might be. No. Norwegian People's Republic automatically when you attack someone's puppet. Yeah, so they can't even not go to war. Soviets, once they say yes, will, of course, declare on People's Republic anyway. So there's no way to avoid this short of playing as the Soviets from now on and refusing to join the war. Well, I guess, hey, the tag for Trotsky is still around. Trotsky is still alive. It's not like he's dead. He's actually the general in charge of, where is it? Well, that division moved, but the division that was in our house for a while might be out here at sea. Pretty sure this is a supply convoy. It's being attacked. Trotsky is still alive. He's actually a political advisor for Norway. I know you can see that under. Well, you can't see advisors, but he is that's why they're getting communist support. It's due to having Trotsky. So he's a general. And he can be reinstated as the leader of the Soviet Union by actually flipping, like making this tag the new Soviet Union, liberating it, or potentially liberating part of it and puppeting part of it could break the Soviet Union into up to 4 pieces. 2 puppets, an independent rump state still ruled by Stalin, which will have its focus tree locked. And they're liberating, I'm pretty sure the Trotsky version should be independent, still communist. I don't think it turns into democratic or something silly. And have an unlocked focus tree that can control most of the Soviet Union. Stalin can have his rump state so that the puppet based on this Soviet version will have a generic focus tree instead of a locked one. So, yeah, maybe Stalin will be left in charge of like Tomsk or something. Won't be killed. But yeah, this is not going to be an easy war to win. And the Soviet Navy is no joke. I mean, it's compared to like the US or UK, it's a joke. But for Norway, with its, 15 destroyers, soon to be 25 when they finish converting some convoys. The Soviet Navy is almost certainly bigger. I thought their civil war would have damaged it, but that's it. 22 to 36 ships. The Civil War must have most of the Navy must have sided with Trotsky. This might not be a complete loss at sea. Although the Swedes have a Navy, and yeah, this is going to be rough. Really wishing this was the multiplayer branch. Well, I can say no, and this will just protect my convoys against the Soviet ships because they won't be legitimate targets a lot of the time. I don't have a navy, which sometimes it can create weird things. My convoys can sometimes still get attacked. But my convoys are less likely to get attacked. They only get attacked if at the same time there's a Norwegian convoy in the exact same province, and then my convoys will get confused with the Norwegian ones or something. They'll get shot too. I have no reason to join the war. Not until there are Soviet ground troops preparing it, about to naval invade or something, and then I won't want Bergen to fall with its naval base and building up here. So, yes, at some point I'll join, but not now. I don't think the AI will kick me from the faction. Although, it would be considered a defensive war. It would improve my war support. A little more command power, a little less stability loss. The biggest problem is there a land route that I can... Oh yeah, no, there's still a land route to getting People's Republic through Sinkiang and Mongolia. I don't need to go through Soviet territory. Alright, well, I probably should have accepted that just for the war support. It's not too late to fix. Boom. This does raise tension. I'm not sure if this makes democracies like me less. I haven't generated any world tension, doesn't think. But yeah, my war support went up to 94%. I can now save up political power for total mobilization. Didn't have to wait for world tension to go higher. I can just defensive war. And then women in the workforce to get me back to manpower. Of course, that's more political power. The only other alternative would be to raise the conscription law. So I'm gonna have to do it. So I might want to do it the moment I have the political power, but a little later. Eventually be able to go total mob. I'll need it. Should reduce my... Give me 1 extra factory. This is 2.4 factories, and this will go down to 1.8. Yeah, so I should get a factory, but then when I have 2 more mil, it'll be 2 anyways, so there's only a very narrow window where that matters. bigger thing is the extra military factory construction speed. And the conversion costs go down if I want to turn a civ to mill, which I probably don't. But it's a very minor buff. Okay, Norway called the rest of the faction in, and Soviet Portugal, not that one, that's the fascist Portugal. Also, naval mines all over here. Who laid these? Shoot, that's going to make it hard. Oh, these are Portuguese, communist Portuguese naval mines. Shoot, that's going to make, and raiders, that's going to make it hard to send more people by sea. Just going to send reinforcements. These guys. I was hoping to. I guess that plan changes. No more ground troops can make it to Norway safely. Let's see. These guys, the support reserve ones in particular, should disband. They're going to contribute less army XP because they're not fully equipped. Just want to use them as port guards. A little bit of artillery. Defend these two coastal provinces because Soviets might be able to. No, they don't have a Black Sea coast. Never mind. Like historically they have one, but here they have no way to attack from the Black Sea, so they're not going to be able to make it from Leningrad or Archangels here by sea, so I can't suffer a naval invasion. I'm way out of range. Or am I? No, you can attack across any distance. The naval supremacy is the issue, but if there's no enemy ships in it, okay, so actually they might be able to attack. I would need at least one destroyer in the eastern Mediterranean to block it, and the game is buggy. Sometimes they can do it when you load up a save for like an hour, so I probably do need port guards. Alright, who to defend the port? To attack. Attack. I should swap these guys to the entrenched commander, this guy. Camouflage expert. Yeah, no. Politically connected defense doctrine guy here. Where's the old guard? Boom, boom. That's the greater pet logistics. I probably don't want this guy noise. These two. They're the best for defending here. I guess heat acclimatization is once again beneficial. Now the rest of these guys, these five, they're nothing but rifles, basic rifles at that. Not needed to guard the coast. Or they could sit in Homs or here or Aleppo or something. And just train to produce army XP. I don't want him in this Norse theater anymore, though. So how I'm gonna exercise divisions is be a little different. Alright. Keep them as reserves here in case things go very badly with the naval invasion. As unlikely as that is. These guys are going to... Well, no. They'll be done training sooner and they can be regular reinforcements. Well, I can't artillery pieces, but honestly, I don't need much to eat a naval invasion. And they generate a little army XP from their training. Not much, but some. Of course, China needs equipment. What do I have to send them already? Some artillery pieces and some rifles. Not much. Okay, these guys aren't even close to being done trained. They don't make much, they're not much good for reinforcing the coast if need be. Back to the manpower pool, whatever, but more importantly, rifles for nationalists, for people's China, not nationalists. Give them all my basic, I mean all my advanced, right? Well, all my worst equipment for CERN. I can probably put the better stuff to better use than they can fighting Sweden. Eventually the Soviets will make their way there. Not going to give them all of this. I'll give them 400 of... keep 98 artillery pieces, or, 360. And all my basic stuff. They can use it for training or to equip guys who are completely under-equipped. It's better than no rifle to have a basic one. Boom. Here. Still equipping up guys. Norse Theater. This is what I have to work with is 22 divisions. I don't have any. There's some over here or something. Nope. Not going to be able to get any more, although I can actually enlarge divisions and more men will just transport. I was going to enlarge them anyways, the Mountaineers. A little more artillery. These are actually 15 with reserve Mountaineers. Minimum. These are 12 with Mountaineers. 15. Just fixing the naming. Cool. Snow is set in, but it's just a mild snowfall. Not a big problem to move through yet. Don't have a rocket artillery to give these guys a rocket artillery yet. These guys aren't fully trained to receive it yet. The number is misleading because the divisions that can't receive this, it's already like earmarked for them. But it's basically telling me. None of them actually have rocket artillery except these guys. They're all ones who've actually received it yet. This piece of front and, you know, these guys. So there's a bunch here. There's a little bit here. And there's some here too as well. And, you know, Spain joined the Northern Spain? This Spain? I mean, I guess they're in a mutual war. And they're restoring higher education. They went with foreign industrial aid, so this blocks them from joining the US faction. That might be good. I don't want the United States attacking the Soviet Union. I was worried about that happening. If the Soviet Spain version has the requirement of being a faction, it might not. Where is it? Join the Allies. Is not in faction. Yeah, but they're not in a faction, even though they're a puppet. That's the thing. The Soviets won't actually reform a faction, so they could defect or bring in the Americans. The Soviets could ally with the US. Actually has a focused ally with them as well. So, the US could join the Soviet Union on their side of the war. The US has reach out, suspend the persecution, reach out to where group US-Soviet economic cooperation. And this, is not in faction. They can't take that. They could join my faction. Oh no, what they actually would do is pull Communist China out of my faction into theirs, but it would bring them into war with the Soviet Union. Unfortunately. Then I have to deal with capitalist Russia that would eventually be hostile. There's no way that the Soviets would defeat the US, and especially not here with their greatly reduced territory. Heck, it would have been a problem in the Cold War when they had Warsaw Pact. Here, no way. They'll lose. War with Soviet Spain. I guess it's not such a problem. Well, no, it would have been better if they could have finished the national recovery before the war, because then that would have given Republican Spain more building slots. Probably doing autarky. They don't join the Allies. So they don't join a faction with the US. They'll end up going the autarky, Spanish austerity path. And this would normally add a bunch of build slots, agricultural self-sufficiency in the war industry, but they won't do that unless, say, Soviet naval invasion pushes into Spain, which could happen. Let's hope the Norwegians don't stupidly try to send divisions to Spain or something. That's the kind of thing I have to worry about. Shoot. Oops. these guys marched here. And then they started marching there because now they're on the front. Need them to be building planning for attacking here. Which they're marching to an area that was cold, it was not very cold, thankfully, so they didn't suffer attrition. I don't think, because the attrition is based on where you're moving to, not where you're moving out of, but unless it's like a marsh attrition. When you leave a marsh, I think you still suffer attrition. But yeah, they need to prepare to attack here, which is very cold, not great. These guys aren't fully cold climatized. The winter is setting in. Forests provide less defensive bonus than hills. These guys would actually fall back to the hills, so it may actually be better to leave the front line where it is. Push them back to the river in the spring. This is more just about the hydroelectric capacity. Sorry, aluminum production. They can do this already, but need full control of this land for this. Then they do the Northern Rail, gain a little political power. And then this, not till they control Trondhelag. That's Pimi territory. Not gonna happen. So never getting this infrastructure speed buff unless there's a bypass here. Still. Aluminum production is good. Hydroelectric and aluminum. Is there any other states they could grab without ending the war? Here, Uppland, but they would have to make it all the way to the Swedish border. That's not going to happen soon. Oh well. I think Norway gets built slots from HOI4 and Jan Mayen. Where's Jan Mayen? Oh, this little island, also controlled by Norway. 5 building slots? They must have gotten some extra from like this. Hydroelectric capacity. I don't know if it just has already been taken or can't be taken unless you control certain states. They might have done it, even though it provided no bonus. I don't know. I might peek at that later just to see what's going on with the... I could check the wiki to see what it says about that focus. Alright, well, supplies are getting tough for these guys. Why? They're sitting right next to a hub. And they are receiving some supplies in the hub. Guess there's just too many men around. Would help if I had some trains. That's for certain. Maybe after this I'll go and do civilian train tech. Could just buy some trains. Needs to be someone other than the British. My convoys just get sunk buying from them. Oh well. Can't buy trains then. I'll have to produce my own. Could seize civilian ones, but it'd be a pain to restore the stability I'd lose, so. Or if these guys, these have 5 trains. It's not many. I was gonna say I could try and get some from a faction member. It's sitting on a bunch of trains as a land border. Norway, actually, is a safe land. Nope, not anymore. Was through the Soviet Union, but not now. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to produce my own trains. Then they'll teleport over here magically. Capo Verde, let's give me support equipment and convoys. This one, at least, will use my convoys and might get sunk. But I do need the support equipment, so I guess I'll risk it. Wait, am I giving Norwegian People's Republic one lease still? I am. After this next delivery, I need to stop. Stuff will just get sunk. The convoys, I'm surprised, hasn't already. Actually, some are already getting attacked. And being protected by the Spanish Navy. Huh, okay. I can't protect anything in the eastern central Mediterranean, but there's not really any naval raiding there. Subs could make it here. There's friendly stuff to patrol there. Alright, well, I think there's nothing to protect against, because I have no navy yet. There's no action here. If they were smart, they would use these Castile logistic strikes on the Norwegians, but basically aircraft that fly around and do nothing unless there's combat. So finishing their training. You just tell me I need 3 trains, but I have no way to get them. So these guys are undersupplied. They should be getting supplies sent from Bergen to Kristiansand and then by train here. The Norwegians have. I don't understand why they're undersupplied. I'll have to figure out the supply issues later. These guys are seeing the capital where supply is easy and almost fully trained, some of them. These guys should grab. I need rocket artillery. Rangers. Rocket artillery. We'll train without it for a while, but nobody is ready back there to go to the front. Most ready guys are all in the front already. I'll get their support equipment eventually. last thing is to give these guys some more line rocket artillery. Oh, create a version of the template it's got. 18 width. Reserve mountain art. Mountain artillery. Boom. Create one that actually gets the equipment. With artillery. These are my most elite divisions. Just gonna start training them now, so they get the cold colonization with the new guys. And I think they already get this bonus. Let's see. Self-attack. It's not gonna tell me if there's a country bonus. I think that's all in combat, I guess, but it's a way to break their bonus and aggressive assault that applies around the unit card, and then gets multiplied by the other bonuses. Alright. New division. Oh. Still have guys in training. Reserve. Forgot all about this. Yeah, those guys are getting done. This guy, I'll promote. Need another. Being reckless commando. Commando is sometimes useful. If you have a bunch of reckless guys, you can, if they get injured, swap them though. It prevents you leveling one guy up too much, so not great, but alright. Having fewer guys in training means the exercises produce a little more army XP, I think. Or maybe that was an old version, but just put equipment back in the stockpiles importantly, which can be sent to China. After this stuff. Rifles to China. Maybe Joe want to play as People's Republic of China instead of the British. Who knows? 0.014 Army XP a day from exercises. Yeah, the British, yeah, they're fighting here and slowly losing to the Central Powers. I mean, I did tell Joe if he took over the British, he'd be taking over a losing war and have to turn around. If he joined this one, he'll probably go back to the older. War bonds. Just give me a factory for a little while. I already decided this is not really worth it because, let's see. 5, this is 15%, so basically for every 4, it would only be until completion of this factory that this give anything at all, and I need women in the workforce, which would reduce stability a little, which partially offset that, and yeah, the war bonds are probably better for now. Well, I'm only doing it once, the second time costs war support, so yep, for a little while. Should be 12% of 16 and 20 plus. This should get it down to one consumer good factory. It's not doing so. That's weird. I guess rounding is not working in my favor or something. Shoot. Shoot. I don't think, although it's worth trying if I buy steel. There aren't many I can do it that's land based. And the British I risk convoy raiding. Well, most of the path there is protected by friendly. Probably worth it for the extra steel. I could also actually go the long way around here, buy from the US, and there shouldn't be any enemy subs. It'll take a lot of alright, and by using the Suez Canal, that's actually not there. I need to avoid. And to avoid anywhere that there could be subs raiding. I don't see any here, but I've seen before. Here, it's right near Portuguese. I have this island and Madeira here. They could easily raid the African coast, and basically any sea zone they could easily reach when it's set to yellow. This is going to lead to roundabout pathing. Pull some convoys. Should have plenty. I don't know if you trade away a factory if you still pay consumer. Yes, I do. Shoot. Alright, well at least lets me see the path by which I'm getting steel. It goes all the way here. Yep. Far, far away from hostile stuff. Of course, the convoys are large because they can only occur so every so often. It's 8 ships. Might be even safer if I go around this way. Take the Panama Canal. I doubt there are any Soviet subs here, even though they could reach here from Ponte de Glado with higher tech. Okay. Right. 8 or 9 for trade. The trade ones should have already stopped. Not trading anymore. Aren't they? Oh no, I haven't deactivated this yet. Cool. Boom. Maybe I'll set this just to an even 100 in case I lose convoys. Whoa. Where did these guys come from? Swedes did naval invasion on Stavanger. I didn't think they would do that, but they did. Now it's necessary to push them back into the sea. Okay. Definitely didn't want to be doing this in this weather. I'll lose equipment, but I could just leave them with the foothold. It doesn't really matter. As long as I don't march on Kristiansand. I'll pull some divisions there. Rangers are actually less well equipped. This does make the supply situation worse, though. Boom. All right. Boom. 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 Mountaineers and hills, mountains, and these forests, but if this gets attacked and it's going badly, they can march north. It should be enough to disincentivize any attacks, even though there is this undefended route. Alright, and I also need somebody to guard the port to prevent more of this nonsense from happening. Cool, well that instantly resolves the supply problems. Huh, these guys are almost fully trained. Oh, Spain wants to send me support equipment? Sure. Should be able to send through safe sea zones. Doesn't take a very long time to meet a supply equipment shortfall, so. The war bonds were useless, apparently. Look at this numbers, and 12% of 16, this should be 1.92, but it's probably, yeah, it's gotta be a rounding thing. Let's see, 20% of 16b2 plus 0.2, 3.2, and then 64% of that. 2.048. To get it below that, Need this number to be 62% consumer goods factor. I need a little more stability. I have no way of doing it. When party popularity is max, I would need more war support, basically. Something shoots up world tension, perhaps. That would do it. Not enough, actually. Did I save before the war bonds? Nope. It's my own fault for not saving more often. Well, whatever. Realistically, war bonds might affect the finances, but not here, I guess. And they moved more troops in by sea. Are they having supply issues yet? I don't know. Yeah. I don't need to split the generals anymore, I think. So this guy's going to rank up. I don't want it. I need him for planning. I'm going to put these guys under this general, actually. Should have done that before. And yeah, this guy's too. Reason I don't want shoot. I don't want this guy to reach 2 until I've swapped inventive leadership for meticulous prep, and I'm trying to recruit a few more generals, so spreading out the XP. I didn't realize how close that guy had gotten to rank up. Cool. So let's see. There we go. Where are they? Yeah, this guy's just in charge of training, it looks like now. Training and defense. Oh, he can be in charge of this. This is, oh no, he's a brilliant strategist, not a defensive. I actually want to swap the generals. I don't have anyone with 2 attack and old guard, do I? Nope. Swap this. Entrenched training or rear guard. Or just call it rear. Entrenched and rear. Army of Norway. Or Norwegian. Yeah, Army of Norway is fine. So the guys who are right on the front, entrenched, should have somebody who gives them 2 attack, but ideally they'd also want logistics because, well, logistics are tough. Some divisions are suffering attrition. Others combat penalties. So not this guy, actually. Looks like there's only one good candidate. This guy. 2 attack, 2 logistic skill. Because of the offensive doctrine, 2 attack. Commando, which does help with out of combat logistics, sometimes can slow or regain and other things. So, boom. This guy doesn't. These divisions are unlikely to be attacked, so they really just need to worry about logistics mostly. This guy's got a little XP. This one who I need better tactics to